Hello everyone. Today in this video I will be briefly discussing the role of Mi164C under combined stress. This was the recent finding from our lab which we published in Environmental and Experimental Botany Journal in the year 2020. The title of the article is Arabidopsis thaliana Mi164C influences plant responses to the combined stress of drought and bacterial infection by regulating protein metabolism. So today I will be discussing about on how this miRNAs influences. How this miRNAs plays important role under combined stress, especially under combined drought and pathogen stress. So as we all know, in nature, plant exposed to combination of stresses during its life cycle, which affect their growth and productivity. And plant response to stress occurs at both physiological level and molecular level. At morphophysiological level, some mechanisms, to give an examples like stomatal closure, increased root length, volume, osmotic adjustment, and reduction in transpiration. These are the few morphophysiological level changes which plants adopt to combat the stress. Similarly, at molecular level, plant will try to up and down regulate the expression of the few transcription factors or genes or some upstream regulatory proteins like kinases, phosphatases to bring about the altered stress response. And also they regulate the protein synthesis and degradation of the several proteins to bring about the altered stress response. And at molecular level, one such class of proteins, the proteins which play important role, which have been identified recently, like small RNAs, which are known to play vital role in stress response. And it includes both siRNA and miRNAs. And now, since these mRNAs are playing a major role in the recent studies have reported these mRNAs known to play very important role in stress conditions. So today I will be discussing about how this mRNA biogenesis and its functions occurs, and then we'll take up one of the studies where we recently published one of the paper that I will just go through. So coming to mRNAs, these mRNAs are small regulatory RNAs of 20 to 22 nucleotide length, and that are encoded by endogenous Mir genes and functions by causing either transcription gene silencing or post-transcriptional gene silencing. Coming to the mRNA biogenesis and function, so these mRNAs are synthesized from already available existing transcripts which are there in the nucleus. So with the help of a Mir gene and the RNA polymerase II, this transcript are transcribed to form a single stranded RNA molecules. And these RNA molecules now fold to form a stem loop hairpin-like structure, which we call as a stem loop. And this mRNA is called as primary mRNA. And then now this primary mRNA undergo processing to form a precursor miRNA with the activity of dicer-like proteins, and is assisted by the two other proteins like SE, that is serrate protein, and HYL1, that is hyponasty leaves 1 protein. So these two protein along with the DCL, now this mRNA is processed to form a miRNA-mRNA duplex. mRNA-mRNA duplex, and now this mRNA-mRNA duplex will be methylated by the HEN1 protein, that is HEN1. This is the RNA methyltransferase protein, which will methylate at a 3', and now this methylated mRNA is now transported to the cytosol by the activity of X protein, that is HST1, that is HAST1. So once these mRNAs are transported to the cytoplasm, now these are incorporated into the AGO1 complex, which is the catalytic domain of the RNA-induced silencing complex. So now along with the RISC, this AGO will guide the target mRNA, and this mRNA will go and bind to target mRNA and leads to either cleavage or translation inhibition of that protein. This is the process by which this mRNA either cleave or inhibit the translation of a particular protein. And as I mentioned, there are several mRNAs have been identified under different biotic and abiotic stresses. And to give an example, these are some mRNAs. It also includes siRNAs. So if you see, it involves both biotic stress, abiotic stress. There are mRNAs also which are involved in other basic biological processes also, which have been identified and characterized. And most of the mRNAs, if you see, like MIR 169, MIR 393, which are there in drought stress, salinity stress, and also they are there in bacterial infection. So which clearly shows that these mRNAs have a role under different stress conditions, but till now there are no reports showing these mRNAs validation under combined stress conditions. So with this, uh, we started a study to identify mRNAs under combined drought and pathogen stress. So here we followed a methodology, that is we use the already developed microarray data under combined drought and pathogen infection, and then we identified the genes which are common to drought, pathogen, and combined stress, and we found that there were around 37 common genes which are common to all the stresses. Now these common genes now scan for this putative mRNA target binding sites by using the MIR based tool, MIR based tool. So after scanning all the sequences of these 37 mRNAs, so we identified putative mRNAs. Further, these identified mRNAs were looked for their expression under public available data. So this is the in silico analysis, and then followed by the wet lab validation, where we will be analyzing these identified mRNAs first by looking at the expression by doing the stem loop RT-qPCR under both individual and combined stresses, followed by their target expression in mRNA mutants, and then finally we will be functionally validating these mRNA mutants by reverse genetic screen. So this is the methodology we adopted. And coming to the results, so first in silico analysis. In silico analysis, we identified around 29 mRNAs which known to regulate these 37 mRNAs, and we have found one mRNA regulating one miRNA regulating one mRNA, and we also have an example where one miRNA regulating as many as like 8 mRNAs. So this is the network which shows mRNA interaction, and this is the in silico analysis of expression of these identified mRNAs under different stress conditions. This clearly shows that these mRNAs are stress responsive, and based on the expression pattern and this hybridization energy, so we have narrowed down to 10 mRNAs which were further selected for the analysis. So next, we analyze the expression of these 10 miRNAs by stem loop RT-qPCR under both control, pathogen stress, and combined stress. So we got a differential response of these mRNAs under stress conditions. So for example, MIR164C which showed significant downregulation under both pathogen and combined stress, whereas MIR397A which showed significant increase in the expression of pathogen stress, but the relatively lesser expression in case of combined stress. So these all the mRNAs show differential expression. Some are significant, some are not significant. Then we looked up this miRNA expression, and also we had the mRNA expression from the transcriptome database. Then we compared both of them, and this is the result of that one. So here you can see these are all the mRNAs, and these are the corresponding miRNAs. So if you see, there are few mRNAs which are differential, like oppositely regulated under stress condition. So for example, this AT2G39800, this is a P5CS1 gene, which is known to be upregulated under combined stress, whereas this corresponding miRNA is known to be downregulated. So we were interested in such kind of miRNAs which showed the opposite trend. So based on this expression pattern, so and also the availability of the mutants, so we have selected 4 mutants. One is MIR164B, 164C, 397A, and 831 picked up for the further analysis. And after obtaining this mRNA mutants, we subjected them for the combined stress, and this is the brief protocol. where this is the control treatment and this is the mock treatment. Control treatment plants were maintained throughout the experiment at 100% FC, and mock plants were also maintained 100% FC, and only at 35th day plants were inoculated with the sterile water. Whereas in case of pathogen stress, the plants were inoculated with the Pseudomonas syringae DC3K at 35 days and allowed for next 5 days, and during that the disease incidence and the pathogen related parameters were recorded. And drought stress imposition was started on the 30-day-old plants, and we allowed the progressive drought imposition, and on 35th day it has reached the 40% field capacity, and next another 5 days it took to reach 20% field capacity. Whereas in case of combined stress, so we impose the drought stress at 30 days old plant, and on 35th day we inoculated with the pathogen and allowed both the combined stress to progress, and then we assess the plants for the combined stress tolerance. And coming to the results, so here you can clearly see the wild type plants under pathogen compared to pathogen stress. The combined stress plants are compared a little bit, they are resistant to the pathogen. Whereas if you see the mutants among the mutants, this MIR164C which showed relatively higher tolerance to combined stress compared to pathogen stress, and this MIR164C is tolerant compared to all other miRNA mutants. So the similar trend was also observed in case of the implanted bacterial number. So this shows that Arabidopsis thaliana MIR164 is resistant to the combined stress compared to other mutants. So further, we wanted to see since these mutants have showed the differential stress response, we wanted to see what is the target gene expression in these mutants. So since this 397 and MIR164C have shown to target ATP5CS1, but they showed the differential expression of ATP5CS1. Whereas in case of MIR397A, the P5C expression was down-regulated, whereas in case of MIR164C, which is up-regulated. Whereas other two mRNAs like 164B, which known to target this ATEEB2, and also MIR831 ST2A, didn't show much increase in the expression of this target genes in mRNA mutants. So which says these may not be the two targets, and further we need to analyze these mRNA mutants to find out what is the exact target for these two mRNAs. But here we found a differential response of the single target gene by two different mRNAs, and that may be the reason why we observed increased resistance under MIR164C and why we didn't observe the M397A. So further, we wanted to dissect the, we wanted to know at molecular level why this MIR164C is tolerant to combined stress compared to 397A. So first we checked for this target gene cleavage by doing this 5' RLM race, and which clearly shows that this target gene is not cleaved in case of mRNA mutant. And coming to this further, since this ATP5CS1 is a key enzyme involved in proline biosynthesis, so we wanted to check whether this this down-regulation of miRNA, which known to target ATP5CS1, whether there is any increase in the proline accumulation with respect to control. So we found there is an increase in the accumulation of proline in both stress condition and also in control conditions in mRNA mutant. There is also increase in the pathogen stress, but it is not significant. Further, we want to also check, since this proline is not proline per se, but proline regulation is also known to play important role under pathogen stress, where the proline to P5C conversion in mitochondria is known to play important role under pathogen stress conditions, where in that step there will be generation of the ROS molecules, which will now trigger the defense signaling pathway and bring about the altered defense response. So we picked a few of the mitochondrial antioxidant genes and look for the expression under combined stress and pathogen stress in MIR164 mutant and also the control plants. So we found most of the antioxidant genes were upregulated both the stresses except this AT catalase 1. So this clearly shows that MIR164C showed increased proline accumulation and enhanced antioxidant gene expression under pathogen and combined stress, which resulted in improved resistance. So based on these results, so this is the hypothetical model which showed this MIR164C mediated PVT-P5C regulation under combined stress. So we know when there is the drought and pathogen stress is there, which will now inhibit the expression of MIR164C, and thereby ATP5C gene expression is upregulate. I mean, there will be increased ATP5CS1 expression. Now, this ATP5C increased ATP5C expression will result in increased accumulation of P5C and also the enhanced conversion of proline. So, the increased cytosolic proline level and also the increased P5C, increased cytosolic proline level will eventually helps in more proline transport to the mitochondria, whereas it get converted into P5C, so that there will be increased P5C accumulation also. So together with increased P5C in mitochondria and increased proline under cytosol, together will inhibit the pathogen multiplication and bring about the altered combined stress response. But we don't know what are all the key players from P5C to the combined stress tolerance, and also how this proline is directly regulating this combined stress tolerance. So these are all these are the future perspectives to find out how this mechanism is related. So outcome of the studies, MIR164C act as a negative regulator of ATP5CS1 and indirectly regulates proline P5C levels. miRNA mediated regulation of proline pathway, which acts as a conversion point for both abiotic and biotic stress, and further that can be exploited for the crop improvement. Future perspective, the proline pathway is known to be regulated by more than one mRNAs. So further, more studies are needed in this area for better understanding of this proline pathway regulation under different stress conditions.